Hey everybody, today we're going to be talking books. So over on the Geek and Sundry vlog channel, James Tiger Monkey Isaacs does this great show called Read This, where every other week he showcases a different book and tells us, the viewer, why we should be reading it. What that show basically does for me is remind me how much I don't read anymore. I used to read all the time. Fiction, non-fiction, all sorts of stuff. Now, not so much. And it pains me deep inside my geeky soul that I don't. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to do this vlog to remind myself how much I love reading and maybe kickstart my habit again. That really didn't sound good, did it? There's got to be a better way of saying that. Anyway, so what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk about 5 books that have influenced me greatly over the years. Not necessarily my 5 favorite books, just ones that have had a major impact on my life. First up is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. This book took my geek virginity, basically. I remember going to the library when I was 11, picking this book up based solely on the cover. I didn't know what it was about, bringing it home, sitting on my bed, and reading it all the way through in 2.5 hours. This book I couldn't get enough of it. I devoured it like a fat guy at a pie eating contest. All I wanted in my life was orcs and elves and dwarves and dragons and things getting hit in the head with axes and giant spiders. Okay, maybe not the giant spiders, not really my thing at all. And I 100% credit this book when starting me off on my path to geekdom. Yes, I love dudes in spandex and capes punching bad guys in the faces, and I love spaceships flying around going pew pew pew, all the sci-fi stuff. But really, when it comes down to it, I'm a fantasy genre kind of guy, and The Hobbit's the reason. Next up, Watership Down by Richard Adams. Now, I don't remember exactly how old I was when I read this book, but it was in middle school at some point. And that's what stands out to me. This is the first book I can remember being assigned to read in school that didn't feel stuffy or that was on a topic that didn't interest me. I mean, this is a pretty meaty book. It's about 475 pages, and I flew through it and enjoyed every page of it. Here was a book that was about a bunch of rabbits and their civilization and how they were dealing with war with another warren. Warren? That's what you call rabbit dens, right? Rabbit warrens? I don't know. Anyway, so it was war between the rabbit world, and they were having to deal with enemies such as humans. It was a very interesting look at things, and I very much remember it standing out to me as just being that moment where I realized I could love reading in school. And in fact, I still rank this up there probably in my top 20 novels of all time. Maybe it's a little bit nostalgia, but I really think it's an excellent book. Definitely check it out. Next up is Jaws by Peter Benchley. Now you astute viewers out there might notice I'm not actually holding a copy of the book in my hands. And that's because I don't have it in my house because it's f***ing evil. If you're interested in the entire ordeal of why I say that and how that book emotionally scarred me as a child, you can check out the other video I did here, where I talk about it at great lengths. So basically, I don't want to talk about it anymore because it still gives me the heebie-jeebies, and we're moving on to the next book. The Art of Happiness by the Dalai Lama. Now, technically not by the Dalai Lama himself, it's by a psychologist by the name of Howard Cutler, who performed a series of interviews with the Dalai Lama as he traveled around the country giving workshops and seminars and talks and whatnot. So why does this book speak to me so much? Well, as a younger man, I was prone to getting worked up about things that I really didn't need to. To use a cliche, sweated the small stuff quite a bit, and I would get worked up into a frothy rage over all sorts of craziness that I really didn't need to. And this book helped put a lot in perspective. Now, yes, I know if any of you guys follow me on Twitter, watch some of my videos, you listen to my podcast, or whatever else, I get worked up and rant a lot. But it's not real anger. It's faux anger. It's all very surface. I used to actually get pissed about a ton of stuff. And this book really helped me put a lot of things into perspective. So once again, highly recommend it. Now, on to the final book, Tough Shit by Kevin Smith. Now, I have always been a huge Kevin Smith fan. Enjoy his movies, listen to some of his podcasts, find him to be a very engaging storyteller. So what I was expecting when I read this book was a series of maybe humorous anecdotes about his life and his career. Instead, what I got was truly inspirational. Everything I do that's creative now can be traced directly back to this book. Whether it's the web channel on YouTube that you're watching this video on right now, to the comic book podcast I host for geeklegacy.com, or even my health and fitness website, thejerd.com. All of it directly can be traced back to this book, I swear. The key point to this book is not to be a why person, but to be a why not person. And let me explain. When someone wants to do something different, something creative, maybe do something a little off the beaten path, to take a chance, don't ask them why. Why are you doing that? Why do you think you can succeed? Those are shitty questions to ask someone. Instead, ask why not? Why not do that? Why not pursue your dream? And honestly, I feel that I was falling a little bit into a negative place when I read this book, and it snapped me right out of it and made me want to be creative and to give back to the geeky community that have shaped me over the years. So kudos to Kevin Smith, kudos to this book. I love the crap out of it. I highly recommend it to anyone, and maybe one day I'll get to meet the guy and shake his hand and say thank you. Well, there you go. There are the top 5 books that have influenced me as a person. Now, what I'd like from you guys is to let me know what books have influenced you the most. It can be the top 3, top 5, top 10, I don't care. Just let me know in the comments below, or film a video response and shoot it my way. I'm genuinely interested. That being said, everyone have a good week, and I'll catch you all next time. Stay awesome. So make sure you're liking, sharing, subscribing, all that other stuff I know you know how to do. But more importantly, if you're interested in the books we talked about today, you can check the notes below where I've supplied links for you so you can find them all on Amazon. I've also given somewhere down here a link to the Read This vlog that I was talking about earlier. So make sure you go check it out, support that series, and maybe you'll find some more books that you're interested in.